Mara and Basil are still here. Congresswoman, you want to talk to Howard Lutnick too?
Absolutely. Listen, I mean, he said, I don't know, but one thing is clear. He knew enough to know that he did not want to hang out with Jeffrey Epstein and that he was his neighbor. He talked about the fact that he was into some questionable things. So I'm sure he's seen people come and go, and he seems pretty confident that there were videos of this. So I would absolutely love to kind of dig in a little bit more and at least get a list of names to work from and start to kind of build backwards and do the work that Alex Acosta and that DOJ failed to do.
Well, he says in that interview that they, quote, shared a wall. I don't know what billionaires have for home alarms, but like a Ring camera would have probably picked up some images. I mean, do you want to see his surveillance footage if he has any?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, if he still has it, for sure. We know that that was actually one of the things that Alex claimed was problematic for him, that they did not get the video footage that Epstein had as relates to that Florida case where he ended up getting the 18 months. So anyone, and you know, in fact, let me make a plea right now. If you have video footage of anything that was going on at the Epstein home, whether it's Florida or New York or anywhere else, please feel free to contact the House Democrats on oversight, and we will do everything that we can to make sure that the truth starts to come out.
You know what I thought listening to that interview? I listened to the whole thing, time I'll never get back, but he talks about taking his wife over to Epstein's house. He describes him as, quote, gross. And he describes a tour that Epstein gave him of his fancy house, which was, I think he said, quote, so wide. And they go from the living room, and he thinks that the double doors are opening into a dining room, because I guess that's what all the house's floor plan is. I don't know. And it's a room with a massage table in the middle. It seems to me that if one of your peers, instead of a dining room, has a room with a massage table, and don't you think they talk amongst themselves? And this is something I've picked up from all the victims. I mean, the victims have suffered because they were siloed in their shame and in their trauma. But the people who knew about Epstein, they were never shamed and isolated. They all hung out together. I mean, does Lutnick give you more names of people that hung out and maybe also went on the tour and saw the massage table?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I do think that he has names. I mean, the fact that he felt like that there was video footage, and he obviously felt like it was video footage of people that were important enough that he would end up with a sweetheart deal. I mean, your everyday Joe walking in and being caught on video doing something nefarious doesn't necessarily equate to something that I've never seen as a practicing lawyer. I mean, the amount of allegations that they had against him at that time, and then for him to get that little amount of time, in addition to, as he already laid out, he had privileges that afforded him an opportunity to continue to commit crimes, and everyone looked the other way. I mean, this was like the nightmare that would not end, and even now that Epstein is gone, it's still a nightmare, because you have people like the President of the United States saying, oh no, this is nothing more than a Democratic hoax, and consistently, you know, really invalidating what these victims / survivors experienced.
Congresswoman, I wonder if it's enough to bring Acosta back, that Donald Trump's own Secretary of Commerce believes that they, I just want to get his quote right, that they traded those videos. How else could you get 18 months? He was a convicted sex offender.
Yeah, you know, Alex Acosta, as far as I'm concerned, he probably walked as fine a line as he could, but I did not feel like he was completely truthful. Obviously, we did a transcribed interview. I would love to get him in a deposition setting instead, and I really want to dig in on a number of things that I was asking him about. You know, he basically hid behind the fact that he was the U.S. attorney for that area. And so, as we know, anyone that sits that high is not necessarily into all of the specific details of any given case, but this was a high-profile case, so he was briefed on it. You know, I want to talk to the other people that were on that team, the people that he said flew in from D.C., and sat down and had roundtable conversations about them. I want to see how many of his statements align with theirs. The only thing that we know is for sure there was a line prosecutor, someone who actually was looking at all the evidence and was doing everything that she could to make it clear that this is somebody that needed to be prosecuted. She had drafted a 53-page indictment, and they decided, nope, never mind, we're not going to go forward with that. Instead, we're going to kick this back down to the state, and we're just going to non-prosecute this case on the federal level. But we're not going to be open, honest, and transparent with the victims as the law requires, because what we're going to do is work around the law and say, well, you know what, he's not officially indicted, so do we really have to honor this? Maybe not. I mean, it was just too much shady things going on. And right now, so many of the survivors talk about the fact that the FBI refuses to give them access to their own statements and their own files about their own cases. So that is why it is so important that we get our newest member sworn in so she can be signature number 218 so that we can take a house for the a vote of the entire House and hopefully get the release of the Epstein files ordered. And if for some reason there's a problem, hopefully we will have a little bit more strength if it is a full vote of the House to then go to court.